Welcome to Narka Tales. Don't forget to subscribe. Today's story comes from our advice, and it's a gut punch you'll feel in your bones. It's the tale of Cassie, a 27-year-old woman who spent nearly a decade pouring her heart into a relationship that crashed and burned on what should have been its happiest night. What followed was 9 months of silence, until her ex, Nate, showed up with a bomb he needed to drop. What happened next left Cassie reeling, racing to protect the life she'd remade, and facing a twist that no one saw coming. I met Nate when I was 18, the first semester of college. He had that shy smile, eyes that lit up when he talked about music. By fall, we were inseparable. Over the next 9 years, I walked beside him through every high and low, the heartbreak of freshman breakups, the stress of midterms, the long night shifts I picked up so he could focus on his major after his parents cut him off for choosing the wrong college. I helped him battle depression. I stood by as he rebuilt his grades, landed an internship, moved back home to rebuild his credit. When he finally graduated, we moved into our own apartment. It wasn't always easy. I was working part-time, finishing my degree, while he devoured his new career in marketing. But when his parents returned to support him, he insisted it was my turn. For 16 months, he promised, it'd be my time to shine. He picked up my share of bills. He surprised me with flowers at work. He drove me to late-night rehearsals with my theater friends. He whispered sweet nothings in my ear as we danced in our living room, kitchen lights dimmed. He made me believe he saw me as his future wife. And it felt true. Until Christmas. In December, he did a complete 180. Intense romantic gestures, sentimental gifts, candlelit dinners with a ring-sized box tucked under the napkin. I spent New Year's Eve convinced he'd ask, convinced we'd launch the year as fiancés. But on January 2nd, instead of a proposal, I got a breakup that shredded my heart. In our living room, where twinkle lights still danced on the mantel, he told me I was perfect for a girlfriend. He didn't see me as a wife. He called me gold-digging, clingy, told me I'd served my purpose. Then he gave me 30 days to move out and walked off to sleep in the guest room. Everything I had believed crashed around me in 20 minutes. I felt nothing. No tears. No anger. Just hollow. By morning, I'd blocked his number, locked down my social media, changed my email. I ordered a stack of moving boxes online and slept in my childhood bedroom at my cousin's house. 4 days later, I'd packed a U-Haul and driven away from that apartment, my home for 6 years, never turning back. The next month was a blur of tears, therapy sessions, and family interventions. My boss called to say she'd look for another position for me once something opened. My mom and grandma flew in, hugged me, told me it wasn't my fault. They scolded him, rallied around me, helped me rebuild my confidence. By spring, I was volunteering at a non-profit, renewing old friendships, rediscovering hobbies I had set aside for him. I thought I'd never hear from him again. Until my birthday, last Sunday, when a dozen deep red roses from Nate arrived at my office. The card read, "Dear Cassie, happy belated birthday. I've thought about you every day since things ended. There's something I need to tell you face to face, because if I don't, it will haunt me forever. I can't reach your phone or email, so please, if you'll meet me. Nate." My chest tightened. My friends told me to ignore him. My family said he was toxic. But a small, electric spark of curiosity flickered inside me. What could he possibly need to confess to my face? 5 days later, I found him. He tracked me to the little cafe I go to after my Sunday run. I walked in, earbuds in, hoping to slip past him. But there he was, seated at our old table by the window, the table where we'd first decided to move in together, where he'd carried me in his arms after my college graduation. His silhouette was the same, but his shoulders slumped, a man unmoored. He stood when he saw me, both hopeful and uneasy. I sat opposite him, arms folded. The barista set 2 coffees before us, the steam curling in the winter light. "Cassie," he said, voice soft. "Thank you for coming. I owe you an explanation." I leaned back. "You gave your explanation on January 2nd, I said quietly. "Nothing's changed." His throat bobbed. That wasn't the whole story. I raised an eyebrow. Right. He swallowed, glancing at the window. I fell in love with someone else. I could see him struggle, the words, a grenade primed between us. When he spoke again, it was slow, each syllable a confession. Her name is Emma, he said. She works down the hall from me in the office. I've thought about you every day, but the spark we had, his voice cracked. I needed something new. Everything tipped inside me, relief, rage, sorrow. So that's it. 9 years for nothing. I stared. And what does that have to do with me? He blinked, stunned. I needed to tell you, so you'd understand. So you wouldn't think. Think what? I said. Think you did something wrong. That you weren't enough. I caught my breath, furious. You dumped me because you weren't enough. I stood up. You weren't satisfied, so you threw me away. You found someone else and felt justified in telling me I served my purpose. I felt tears press behind my eyes. He reached for my hand, but I jerked away. Don't. I'm sorry, he whispered, voice small. Truly. But I also, he paused. I think she hates me. I told her I left you because I thought you weren't wife material. She looked at me like I was a monster. She hates me. My chest tightened. I saw him, heartbroken, rejected, a casualty of his own selfishness. I wanted to feel triumph, but I felt only immense, bitter pity. I shook my head. You deserve that, I said, and turned to go. As I stepped out, my phone buzzed. A text from my mom. Are you okay? He's here at the house asking for you. I took a deep breath, stepping into the snowy street. My cousin raced up beside me, wrapping an arm around me. I didn't look back. 3 weeks later, I received a forwarded email from an HR contact at Nate's firm. It included a screenshot of Nate's chat log with Emma. Nate, I still love Cassie. Emma, you never loved me. You used me. Nate, I don't know what I wanted. Emma, you wanted to feel alive again. Now you're alone. His words lay bare. He hadn't found love, only a mirror for his own emptiness. And then my final twist came in a voicemail from my boss. Cassie, we have an opening, head of outreach. Salary doubled. We think you're perfect. 9 years I lost myself for him. But in losing him, I found a future I never dared dream. A career I loved, a network of people who saw my worth, and the courage to never let anyone else define me again. Some wounds leave scars that never fully fade. But every morning I wake, I carry a promise in my chest. I will love myself more fiercely than anyone can love me, and I refuse to let anyone, ever again, convince me I'm anything less than a queen. Welcome to Narka Tales, where heartbreak forges the strongest steel. Don't forget to subscribe for more true stories of betrayal, resilience, and the unbreakable human spirit.